Hello guys, JP Mitchell here, and this is my autism recovery story from a little child at the age of 4 who was diagnosed with autism to a rich, full life of independence. So, my story officially starts in 2003, 2004, when I was approximately 4 years old, and my story started off pretty good. Around 1 years old, I was I was crawling, I was looking at Mitch and Peggy, and that was kind of like the last time that I would ever do that. And by the time I hit age 4, that's when I was officially diagnosed with autism, and that's when the ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis, the early intervention got rolling. And that's when the free therapist came into the house, the Mitchell house, the sitting duck logs, the last resort, if you will. There was three therapists, a speech therapist, an osteotherapist, and an occupational therapist. The occupational therapist, we had to go into length for BC for that. But the two therapists taught me how to speak and walk. And by the time that was officially done, we started to see some progress, not so much, just a little bit. And then in Shoppers Drug Mart one day, Mitch and I were out shopping. And I don't know, within minutes, these people in the Shoppers Drug Mart, they looked at Mitch and they saw a child who was not acting normally, who was not behaving properly, who didn't have normal behavior. And they strictly said to him that your kid's acting like an idiot. You need to get your son out of here until he learns how to communicate, how to act properly, how to act normally, and just don't bring your kid back in until he learns how to behave in the store. And that's where the theme of discrimination comes into play. And I don't know, within the next few years in my childhood, it was extremely stressful. I had all my language was gone, all my eye contact was gone, my listening skills, my life skills were gone. I could not interact with other children. I didn't know how to make friends. I didn't know what the world I was in. And by the time I hit age 11, that's when things really started to take a sudden turn for the worst, because my IQ score was extremely low on my Sunny Hill report. And by the time me, Mitch, and Peggy arrived at Sunny Hill, I got tested and I was placed onto the moderately autistic scale. And that's when we officially got the ball rolling. We got some extra therapy from me, from, set up by the Ministry of Children and Family Development. We got the 2-year gap filled in at age 4. Then we got the age gap filled at SOCLA. And then when I was finishing up Journey Middle School, I started talking to the EAs and all that, so that was a massive change for my character. Then in EMCS, you saw even bigger changes, me having, normal conversations with a lot of younger slash, older students that were around my age. And then once I hit 17 in 2015 in grade 11, that's when I no longer met the criteria for the diagnosis of autism anymore. I was no longer autistic. And then to top it all off, I finished off EMCS, a completely recovered man from autism. And so now I'm ready to take on this world of autism and to cleanse this disease from every single child who's suffering from this terrible autism disorder, disability, whatever you want to call it. because I was not the first child to recover from autism, guys. I was not considered the first. There were many other children who had recovered from autism before I did. But I want you parents out there to know is that autism recovery is possible. It's not guaranteed for every child on the spectrum, but it's possible for some. But you need the early diagnosis to receive the funding that your child needs to reach their full potential so they can recover and they can move on to lead normal lives every single day. You need to get that 2 year gap refilled because the longer you wait, that gap's going to grow and it's going to increase, which is not good. So you need to focus on that very quickly. That's one of my suggestions for you. Also, get on using the brat diet like what I took to help remove all those bad toxins from my diet. Also, get rid of uh, gluten and wheat in milk because milk is what causes your child to act up, to have these behaviors, these inappropriate behaviors, which is not good. So that's a really important suggestion for you guys. Um, let's see what else. Oh, and also the GAPS diet, which is really good. That's another important one. Uh, let's see the intensive behavioral intervention program that I took at the age of 4 years old to help me emerge from autism. That one's important too. Um, let's see what else. Oh, and also just be really patient with your child because autism recovery doesn't just happen overnight. Like you can't just snap your fingers and go, "Oh, I have a recovered child." No, that's not how autism recovery works. It's going to take a couple of months, couple of weeks, years, months, days, even weeks, even for your child is fully recovered from autism. So that's my story, guys. And like I said before, um, to all you parents out there, share this video with a family member or a friend or a relative or just someone who has a child with autism who's suffering, who is affected, who doesn't have the money to receive the therapy and funding that the child needs. Because if you parents out there who are children with autism, if you're rich, then you're going to have the money to receive the therapy. But there's a lot of um, parents out there who don't have access to the therapists. A lot of them have access to the therapists and to the specialists, like the speech therapist, the occupational therapist, and all those other important specialists that help the child recover. But a lot of parents don't have those therapists. So that's my video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you parents out there like it and enjoy it. And let's get this video going. Let's start up, guys. Let's do it.